Hey everybody, Ryan here coming at you with just this new old thing that I've been doing for years on this channel. But it's been a long time since I've done it. So that's what I mean about new old thing. Where I just kind of talk about whatever in front of the camera. I was re-inspired to do this by my buddy Jason over at New 80s Revolution, where he always just seems to have great things to talk about, and he's just chilling in his cave. And so that's what I'm doing. Speaking of Jason, watching his videos has kind of made me start to fall in love with wrestling again. Not new wrestling, but like the era that I grew up in, which was the 90s and then through the Attitude Era. And then all of a sudden I saw that they came out with that documentary, Mr. McMahon. I watched it and I really dug it a lot. So I started watching wrestling probably like in 1994, maybe, WWF. And I watched it through about 2002. I always knew about like the history of the WWF, but watching that documentary made it feel like I actually kind of lived through it because it went over a bunch of stuff. Now I know there's some people that say if you're a huge fan, it's nothing new. I get it. But there was a lot of new stuff for me because I didn't grow up in that era. I mention that now because Jason's a big wrestling fan, in terms of like the history of wrestling and all that stuff. And that reminds me, where's it at? Well, man, I don't know where it's at, but I have the Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin videotape on there somewhere. I think it's up here on the other side, maybe. No, that's Batman. It's up there somewhere. Oh, I don't know if I've ever shown this in a video before. My wife got this for me off of Etsy a long time ago. It's a Batman VHS lamp. Obviously, that's not the real Batman VHS. That's this one. With my favorite beverage, Diet Coke. Opens with the Diet Coke commercial. And from what I hear, if you have the tape with the yellow outline on the Batman, that's how you know you have the one with the Diet Coke advertisement. Sorry, this is random. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of just casual talking. So I really enjoyed the documentary. Obviously, aspects about it are kind of disheartening considering a lot of the stuff that's come out about Vince. They address it in the documentary, but most of the interviews were done before that was announced. So before all those indictments and stuff like that. So it's more of like a history of the WWE versus actually being a huge like history of Vince McMahon, which it kind of goes hand in hand, but it doesn't delve into all that kind of stuff. His later controversy, which I mean, there's no way around it. It's incredibly shitty of him. Based on what I've read, he's basically a piece of shit who happened to be a huge part of, a lot of people's growing up watching wrestling. So, I think the documentary was trying to make the point of, or I think Vince was trying to make the point of Mr. McMahon and Vince are two different people. Mr. McMahon was the character, and then there's a lot of people saying he was actually the same, and all that stuff. This is nothing new. So when I was packing, well, okay, so a few years ago, I had a coffee table. In the coffee table was my Nintendo 64 with all my games, and I was trying to figure out where the heck they went. We got rid of the coffee table, but I could not for the life of me remember where I put the stuff that was in it while we were packing. And we were going through a storage closet and all that stuff. I came across my Nintendo 64. But the first thing I saw when I opened up the box, my favorite Nintendo 64 game. How many of you guys grew up playing this? Incredible. So I can't wait to get my 64 hooked back up to play this again. Probably have some friends over, play multiplayer like the olden days. So kind of segued into that, what I've been watching other than watching that documentary. Watched Nightmare on Elm Street today. Love it. Great film. I will always be more of a Friday the 13th person. But this time every year I usually start watching a ton of horror movies for the first time. I watch horror movies all year long, but for the first time, I try to do a lot of new watches during October and September. Because of the move, that sucked up all my energy. And over the past couple weeks, I have not watched a ton of movies. I did all the Friday the 13th marathon, or I marathoned all the Friday the 13th movies like a month and a half ago. And that's pretty much been it. Other than watching like, a Universal horror film or something off and on. I did watch a lot of like Italian horror and stuff a couple months ago, but for the past month and a half, I haven't really been watching a ton of stuff. And in order to get me back into watching stuff more regularly, I started rewatching the James Bond films, which is one of my favorite franchises. Let me just turn this around. I still have the VHS tapes that I fell in love. That I fell in love with James Bond, and that is right here. These are a bunch of the ones that I got when I was a kid. Come on. Anyways, so yeah, it's just getting me back into watching movies more regularly because it really took a lot of the whole move, just completely took all my energy. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. We've had some hurricane scares over the last couple of weeks, so that's definitely been on top of my head. But I'm now getting back in the swing of things. This new mic came in today, so I'm excited to actually have a little mic to make the video sound better. So anyways, guys, this is gonna be like a new thing I might do like once a week where I just talk about random stuff. But anyways, guys, I guess let me know your thoughts on anything I said down below. How are you guys doing? If you guys have had any kind of hurricane issues, hopefully you guys got through it safely. Yeah, it's been a rough month and a half, but I'm settled in. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.